Well, last week was Monaco, Monte Carlo. Some people love the circuit, some people are not big fans, but in all honesty, it's one of those races where even if you don't like it, you want to win it. It's kind of one of them to take away. I think all the professionals, all the actual F1 drivers all say it's kind of like one of the crown jewels of F1. Obviously, you've always got your home Grand Prix, and then you look for other ones. And Monaco is one of them where, yeah, if you finish last, if you crash out, it's like, oh, I don't like it. But to win it, or to even get on the podium, is quite remarkable, and probably feels quite special. It was a dry quali, but the weather report was showing that there was a very high chance of being a wet race. So everybody was sitting there like, what do we do setup wise? Your wings aren't going to change. Your wings are going to be maximum. They're not changing. It's just suspension and your ride height that would potentially change. And how often is the weather forecast correct? It's a 50-50 gamble. So I think that might be why there was a bit of a difference in quali, possibly, because there was a bit of a separation. So quali kind of went almost how you would kind of expected it, really. The pros were the top, and then the pro-ams were next. So you had Simon and Brad, who were the top two. Simon put in a 110.1, if you like, just shy of a 110.1, and Brad Mason was hundredths behind him. So he was 0.013 behind him. Then you had me in third, 6/10 behind Simon, followed by Colin that was 2/10, and then Max, who was like, I don't know, what does that work out? That's like, again, the same. It was like 0.14 behind Colin. Then you had Sloth, Miller, Smug, Mr. Pickle, and then it should have been Joker, should have been in that top 10 somewhere, but didn't manage to get in quick enough and have enough time to set a lap. So he started dead last, not setting a lap. And then running from the Pro-Ams 10th down to 19th started with Senna. And then what was quite funny was there was almost like a 3/10 train. So you had Senna, 3/10 you had Levi, 3/10 you had Sainty, 3/10 you had Ninja, 3/10 you had King Kong, 3/10 you had Skippy. So, and then the gap got a little bit bigger from there onwards, but it's quite funny how that sort of section carried on going. But yeah, I think you'd expect Simon, Brad, Mason to be up there for quali in Monaco. It's kind of a track that they would both be good at. We know Simon's the Monaco maestro anyway. But yeah, so we went into the race, and it was wet race, but it was intermediate, and it was going to be raining for the full duration. So the perfect strategy had there not been safety cars, virtual safety cars, etc., would have been a one stop, would have just been inters to inters. But most people ended up going on a two stop because of the safety car that come out later on, and actually being on the fresher tyres did help. There were a couple of people that did a three stop. I think some people even did a four stop. In fact, Brad, who won the race, did a four stop because of wing damage, and the safety car just neutralised that and brought him back into play at the latter stages of the race. So Brad won the race, P1, Max P2, me P3. Now I actually on track took P1, but with a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunately, that led to me dropping down into third place, and Simon took P4. Now, looking at that, you'd think, oh, P4, disappointing. But actually, he was in the lead of the race. He had Brad Mason behind him, and then I was third. And he took a bit of wing damage. Now, that wing damage was massive because it was playing a massive part. He was really slow. Brad was basically pushing him around the track. I was then pushing Brad around the track, so he knew that wing damage was costing him quite a bit. So he had to come in. He came in earlier than he would have liked. He came in on, what lap was it that he came in? Came on lap 5. And Brad Mason also came in lap 5 as well, which then put me in the front, which was nice, pulling a nice little gap to Colin, who was P2. And then unfortunately, there was a safety car, and that just neutralised everybody towards the end of the race, which then meant that 3-second time penalty that I had just was so we had like 3 laps of racing, so it wasn't gonna benefit me. having that safety car. But nonetheless, Simon to have to come and change his wing, and I think at one point was possibly P14, so to come back and be P4 is one of them races. And again, not having me win, unfortunately Brad Mason won, so now Brad will be further in the championship, but not having me win would have been a massive advantage to Simon in that situation. So it was a good race. It was a very good race. I think there was a couple of things that, especially for myself and Simon, that didn't go away. And Brad would have been looking at that race having 2 wing changes. In fact, it might have even been three wing changes. He would have been sitting there thinking, "Oh, this is gone. This is out now," and come back to win the race. And again, this is why we say to everybody in the league, just because you think, "Oh, I've come in and I've had a wing change," or "I'm dead last now." I mean, Brad Mason would have been last, probably at his second pit stop, because he pitted on lap 5 or lap 6, and then did 1 lap, took wing damage, and then had to come back in again. So that would have seen him dead last. However, he stuck at it, got P1. So it doesn't benefit you DNFing. Plus, you're going to pick up points anyway. In total, we had 5 people DNF. So we had Senna DNF, which was a collision with Mr. Pickle. We had King Kong DNF, Levi DNF, Roddy the Kid, and Colin. So unfortunately, not many points for the Alpine team, but massive points for Haas winning the race. Pro-Am win was Al Newt. Well done, well raced, really clever car positioning, really clever battling, knew which battles to fight for, and also picked up fastest lap for the Pro-Ams as well, so an additional point from there. Second place was Skippy in the Haas, so really good points for the Haas at P1 and a P2. Good points for AlphaTauri with a P1 and a P3. And then Mercedes were third with 50 Gent finishing third. And Joker, to be fair, had a good race. Didn't manage to set a time in quali, so started 20th, but managed to get up to 10th on a track that is challenging, and overtakes aren't always possible. So well done there, and good points for Mercedes with 50 Gent picking up some points, so that kind of brings it back in. I think overall Alpine are going to be disappointed there, and Red Bull, both teams either not picking up points or picking up very minimal points. So that's going to be a bit bitter pill to swallow, but it was it was a good race. I think there were some really good battles on track, which is difficult when you think about Monaco. To say there was good battles is always difficult, but no, it was a good race, and there was some really good driving and really good driving standards. And a big shout out to Roddy the Kid as well, because he was actually having a really good race, and then I think just missed his braking zone, went into the wall. That's Monaco for you. Again, it's just, I think the skill level at racing Monaco, especially in the wet, is incredible. So anybody that was able to finish, well done. Anybody that was able to not take wing damage, well done. It just shows what, I mean, Downey finished P5 I think in the end with that, so just kind of shows what you can do, P5 or P6, just by keeping it clean. So the current standings look like this. Pro-Am, you've got Senna in the lead, 51 points. 13 points behind him is Saintsy in P2. And then Ninja, still up there, 17 points behind P1. He sits in P3 with 34 points. Skippy, a single point behind him. And joint, Skippy and 50 Gent. So they're both on 33 points. They're 18 points off the lead. Al Newt's jumped right up with that win. He's now on 30 points, and he's 21 points off the top. Then you've got Easy Life that's a point behind him. And then unfortunately, just at the moment, you've got Roddy the Kid, who is sitting at the bottom, just where he's not been able to pick up points in a couple races. So, but new to league racing, showing actually really well raced in Monaco. It's just one of them tracks, you make a small error and that's it, you're gone. We go to the Pro Championships. Brad Mason at the moment with two wins, seeing him at the top of the table, 56 points. You've then got Simon second, 6 points behind him, so he's on 50. Me in P3 on 45 points. I'm 11 points behind Brad. Then you've got Miller, Joker, Mr. Pickle, Colin, Smug, Sloth, and then Hey I'm Ash at the bottom of the table at the moment. You have also got Bunnies and Real Max Weld in there, who've reserved a couple of races, and I think Real Max is probably going to make regular appearances, so he's probably going to be up there pushing as well. So we'll keep an eye on that guy. We then go to the constructors. So Haas are now sitting P1 with that incredible performance from both Brad and Skippy. That's elevated them up to the top. They're on 99 points. McLaren is sitting behind them on 83. So Ninja's performances, obviously Bunnies took the victory in the first race. Ninja's performances have kept them up there. Hopefully if Hey I'm Ash can sort of look to have a couple of good performances, then they will stick up there. They've been quite unlucky. He's been quite unlucky and not been available for some of the races. Williams are sitting in P3 with 79 points, so they're 20 points behind Haas at the minute, and then you've got AlphaTauri that are 4 points behind that. So still looking incredible. The constructors' battle. At the moment, the ones that you'd say are probably struggling are your Aston Martin, which is difficult because that's one where a decision had to be made, and unfortunately it kind of probably didn't really benefit them, when I think actually the pairing of Colin and Saintsy would have been a good matchup, but we had to make a change. Red Bull not having the correct driver lineup again as well, that's not benefited them, and King Kong coming back in but having not had much racing in recent weeks has meant that he's kind of come back in and he's had to kind of hit the ground running. And again, your first race at Monaco is not going to be easy. Alpine and Ferrari, kind of not. Again, Ferrari seem to have the same season that they had last season, where they didn't start overly well, but they came back into it. Now, again, Levi's, we all know what Levi's capable of. I have no doubt that come the end of the season, Levi will be up there. I mean, he's not even on the scoreboard at the moment. So he's missed a race, and I think 2 DNFs. So he will still come onto that score sheet. He's still going to provide points. The sole points for Ferrari at the moment seem to be Mr. Pickles. Alpine, Colin he's got wins in him. He's got performances in him, so they will come. And then I think Roddy the Kid has shown that actually he can do it. He's just new to the racing, so he will get there. And I think those teams, come the end of the season, will be coming up to that sort of pushing maybe for that mid-table P3, P2 spot, as long as the likes of Haas, McLaren, Williams aren't running away with it. I think Haas is definitely going to be the one to watch. I think Skippy and Brad's showing a little bit more consistency than he had done previously, so I think Brad's going to be the one to watch. Brad and Haas, definitely. So keep an eye on that.
Well, so that's the reason I couldn't make it up to Preston, but I may have struggled to get home as well. But definitely we'll be at the next one. We'll do something in the summer. Here we go, 19 of them. This is not an hour-long practice session, don't panic. It is just simply for getting the setups sorted. So they will be doing that now and then coming out of the session. I think everyone will be told to retire. And indeed, here we go, people are starting to now retire. So once everybody's done that, it should load straight into the sprint race, which has the grid from last week's Monaco finishing positions. So an exclusive for Blobby Monday Season 2, we'll be trying to follow this format of reverse sprint races, and we will have 13 races decided by the jackpot wheel. And that will bring us in to when the new game is around almost. In around June, July, summertime. And then we'll start again in Season 3 on F1 24. So that's the plan. Not decided yet how the teams will work. We might spin the wheel again for the cars. Let people pick their teammates perhaps. Max says, do we just retire here? Yes, I believe you do. And it will take you now into the sprint race. Here we go. We've got the grid here, which seems to double as a grandstand here in Mexico. Pit wall. Grid just behind camera level to the right. And eventually everyone will be set up and ready. And then we'll get going on the formation lap where I'll take you through the grid and the tyre choices for the sprint race, which will be, I think, 12 laps. And then the main race, 36. So again, do get your predictions or who you're cheering for in the chat. Drop my water already. Other brands are available. Here we go, shortly with the start of the sprint race. I think we've got the formation laps on. I can take you through the order and the tyres. And how it works is you have to finish the race to get to the reverse grid part. Those who DNF'd are after those who finished. The ones who finished obviously in reverse order, then it's the DNFers, then it's those who weren't in the race at all in the previous week. So a bit of an incentive to turn up every week as well. That's how the sprint grid works, and then obviously the sprint result sets the grid for the feature race, as well as awarding some points.
Estimated collision in T-minus 10. Bring it on! 9. 8.
Can you confirm satellite collision is imminent?
7.
Let's go!
6. 5.
Carrying out collision avoidance maneuver.
4. 3. 2. 1. Satellite collision averted.
It takes the whole force to protect space. Join us.
On hards on the third row, then it's Skippy on mediums, Al Newt on hards, then a cluster of drivers all on softs from Smug, Syme, Swanton, Max World, last week's winner Brad, and then Colin. Ahead of Roddy the Kid on hards, Levi on softs, King Kong on mediums, Senna on softs, and Speedy Bullet is at the back on the medium tyre for Aston Martin. 12 laps this race, of course. Easy Life leads them round into the stadium section. So then what is going to happen here? Hello to Webster in the chat. Go give him a follow, the topless sim racer. He will be racing later on as Smug is disqualified for his parking. As the back view just come to the grid now. Maxwell also disqualified for parking there. Here we go then. Senna also disqualified for parking, so that's 4 of them. Here we go. Five red lights for the Mexico sprint race. Held long and away we go. Easy Life leads them away, but Miller Vanilla's right up his inside, and Miller Vanilla's going to take the lead here. Senna's had a great start, jumped a couple of places, as has Swanton. Al Newt's dropping right back. Miller Vanilla gets to the first corner first, into the lead, and Ninjas up to second. Joker is third, Easy Life's dropped to fourth already. Then Skippy, Sainsy. Skippy passes Easy Life and up to P4. 50 Gent and Brad Mason scrapping away. Has everybody got round okay? Looks like they have. Miller Vanilla in the lead. And a bit of contact there. 50 Gent went a bit wide and lost a couple more places. 50 Gent dropping right down, as has Easy Life from the start. Miller Vanilla from Ninjas. Swanton now passes Easy Life up the inside. And that's P5 now for Swanton. Colin, and somebody's off at the back. It's Max Weld, is it? No? Somebody came to some problems, I think. Not sure who it was at the moment. Syme getting past Sainsy down the straight. Joker up to second ahead of Ninjas. And Ninjas into the back of Joker. And contact there with Joker. Ninjas hit Joker. I think Skippy might have hit him as well. Ignore the timing glitch on Ninjas. He's obviously not a minute or so ahead or behind of anybody else. He is in P2.
Evening blog.
Evening to Baker in the chat. We've got somebody off. It's Max Weld this time. Max Weld is off. There you see him. Swanton's got up to P3 now. But Max Weld going off there and to the back of the field. There's Al Newt trying to recover from his bad start, passing Joker. I am very good, Baker. This is reverse grid action, and it's brilliant. And it's something I'm looking to do for Season 2 on Blobby Mondays. Joker has received a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's going from bad to worse for him. Apologies, bit of a cough going on for me. As Swanton takes P2 from Ninjas. And they're all scrapping in behind. Brad Mason now up to P10. He, of course, won at Monaco. So he's having a nice bit of a scrap in the midfield in the sprint. Syme closing in on Skippy. Easy Life, who started on pole, is now 7th and picks up a penalty. And 3 wide almost there. And Syme passes Skippy. There's Colin just ahead of Easy Life. Miller Vanilla is away and gone, setting fastest laps of the race. Miller's Red Bull 5 seconds clear at the moment. And Syme passes Ninjas for P3. Brad also making a move down the straight and up to P9 ahead of Sainsey. Don't forget, folks, we do go to Abu Dhabi on Blobby Mondays from 10 p.m. Just 4 races left. Baker, one hand on the title. Can Noodles reel him in, my teammate? We shall see. It's about a 30-point gap. Joker's received another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And round the long way goes Colin on Ninjas. A lovely move that from the Alpine, and he is up to P4. So the order there: Miller Vanilla from Swanton in second, Syme is third from Colin in fourth, Ninjas is in fifth place from Skippy in sixth, Senna is up to seventh from the back of the field, and Easy Life is eighth. And it's Brad Mason in ninth. He's climbing through the field. And Sainsey in 10th. 50 Gent is 11th from Smug 12. King Kong 13. Levi 14. Al Newt takes 15 from Speedy Bullet. As Brad moves ahead of Easy Life into P8. Speedy Bullet into the pit lane. He's down there in 18th place. Passed by Roddy the Kid. Looked like somebody was ghosting there. That is Joker, is it? As he's about to be lapped by Miller Vanilla. Not a good time for Joker, who's just received a 5-second penalty there for corner cutting. It's going from bad to worse for him. Senna pursuing Skippy now. Going for a dive up the inside and making it stick, but going wide. And had to give it back. And the other Haas of Brad Mason smells blood on that one. And I'm sure Skippy is not going to hold Brad up here. If he can get by Senna, I think he'll get 2 for the price of 1 quite easily. They've all got DRS though. Brad is making the move. Sainsey passes Easy Life, and Brad goes up the inside of Senna. Senna's going to hold it in there though. And it's tight and a bit of contact, and off over the curb goes Brad. And that was dangerous. But Senna defends for now. Al Newt picks up a penalty. He for some reason had a really bad start off the line and dropped right the way down the field, where he's remained. He's in 15th place at the moment. Maxwell, who we saw have that off, he's down in 16th. But Miller Vanilla Swanson is now closing the gap. It was 5 seconds, it's now down around 3. Easy Life and King Kong battling it out, and Easy Life had a wobble and lost a couple more places. And starting at the front hasn't been great for Easy Life, who has now dropped to 14th. Joker hit the fastest lap of the race. He's still well down at the back. Ninjas is keeping it well at the moment in 5th place. Good stuff from him. And keeping Colin honest here. Senna still can't find a way past Skippy, but he's managed to avoid the clutches of Brad for a little while. Sainsey behind Brad in 9th. Smug very close to the back of Levi, further back in the field. But Levi close enough, 250 gent to get the DRS to defend with. As they come through the castle, the stadium, sorry, once again. Not the castle, that's Baku. And Smug now goes for the move on Levi. But Levi's defending. And they could go 3 wide here on 50. And Levi goes up the inside. 50 just nudges him out. Smug tries to hold it through. And nobody goes anywhere on that one. Easy Life's got another penalty. Smug up the inside of Levi. And this time we'll get it done. So Smug makes the move to P12. Good evening, Jonathan, in the chat. Sprint reverse grid race here. And a caution in Sector 2. And a couple have had an incident here. Sainzy's hit King Kong. And Sainsy is off. And that's a shame for him. Al Newt is out of the race. And we've got a safety car. And Syme has got ahead of Swanton. Colin's been disconnected.
So good, Blob had a right laugh. Hope you can make the next one.
Yes, definitely. Definitely hope I can do. It's a shame of transport issues. The only reason I didn't make the last one, a couple of people in the pits. Brad Mason and King Kong, Max World. Sainzy's got a penalty now for speeding in the pit lane. I think Roddy the Kid had a drive-through as well. It's all gone a bit crazy. So they've not got long as well to really get everyone back together. Everyone's spread out all over the place at the moment. Ninjas picks up a penalty. That's going to harm his excellent drive so far. In between the races, I will go and run and get another bottle of water, as I am really struggling. Sloth says the front runners didn't take long to get back up there. Well, they were a bit in the midfield. Ninjas has lost a couple of places there. He might have got off. Well, last week's winner, Brad, he is 12th. Because he's gambled for new tyres. Simon Swanton are right up there. Colin. And Senna. But Mina Vanilla started second in the lead. Just also, while we are waiting for everyone to get back round to the safety car, we will just tell you about some stream news. We did Fortnite stream for the first time ever last night on duos with Stacey and Megan. That was good fun, and we'll hope to do some more of that as and when. Certainly improving. I've won a singles and a couple of duos now as well, so that's good.
39 knew it was great, and Blob has to come for the next one.
Yeah, I do admit I was seeing the photos and videos and thinking it would have been very good to be there. But then I looked at the disruption of the trains yesterday and today, and I thought maybe I won't get home. Also, the safety car's in this lap because we're going to have a 2-lap sprint finish to this sprint race, and some of the field are not with them, including Joker, who's in the pits once again, so I think he might get lapped. The Aston Martins are a bit detached.
Manchester and then train back to Liverpool from there.
Yeah, rail replacement bus is never fun. So here we go then. Miller Vanilla leads them away for this 2-lap sprint race from Syme and Swanton. Then Colin. Colin getting close here for Swanton. And Colin goes by Swanton. Round the outside. Which becomes the inside. Close together, and somebody in behind is Senna. Senna is off. Off is Senna.
We had to get a rail replacement between Preston and Manchester, but wasn't that bad for me and Mick. Cam and Jonathan had it worse.
I was genuinely concerned, Baker, that you would not make it back to Essex for today's race. Brad is up to 9th now, ahead of Levi. And going for Smug around the outside. What a move that is. Brad up to 8th. Miller Vanilla continues to lead from Syme, Colin and Swanton.
Sure, I did low.
Colin and Swanton battling it out for P3. Syme hasn't given up on the win as we go towards the last lap of the race. Brad is overtaking people all over the place. He's now up to P7. The late safety car causing a real action finish to this sprint. Don't forget we got the feature race. 36 laps to come yet.
Coming for you.
Could be a podium here for Alpine if Colin can stay ahead of Swanton. Brad's up to 6th. And I'm sure his Haas teammate will move out of his way. We'll keep with the leaders. Brad does indeed pass Skippy. Miller from Syme. Then Colin, Swanton and Brad. Then Skippy. In 6th from Ninjas. Syme making the move on Miller Vanilla. Round the outside. 50 gents out of the race. Syme takes the lead. Going into the final sector. And he will bring it home. Syme wins from Miller Vanilla. Colin 3rd. Swanton 4th from Brad Mason, Skippy. Smug and Levi go ahead of Ninjas on penalties. King Kong takes P10 ahead of Senna in 11th. Maxwell 12. Easy Life 13. Sainsey comes across in 14th place. Ahead of Roddy the Kid and Speedy Bullet. Who are going to drag race to the line. Speedy Bullet ahead of Roddy the Kid because of a penalty. 50 Gent managed to DNF, and his teammate Joker right at the back of the field will come home in 17th place. This cough is getting worse. I do apologise for it. Syme, the winner then. As we talk of replacement buses and storms, Syme stormed to the front and took the victory from the grasp of Miller Vanilla. Maxwell said he had a bad sprint, some silly misjudgments, and indeed he finished in 12th place. Syme the winner from Miller Vanilla. Then it's Colin and Swanton. Brad, great drive by Skippy. Smug and Levi take the rest of the points. We'll have another pause now, during which time I am going to go and replenish the water, because the throat is suffering a bit today. Back in a minute. Welcome back. And Speedy Bullet says he had wing damage, and Max says he also did. So once you pit in those sprint races, you're stuck a bit behind. Get your predictions in then for the feature race. 36 lap up. And let's see what is going to happen. Simon, of course, on pole. Let's not forget to bring you some championship standings, because I forgot about that earlier on. Let's find that. Monday. So the Pro-Am, Senna leads the way from Sainsbury. And Ninjas, Skippy and 50 Gent from Al Newt and Easy Life. The Pro standing sees Brad 6 points ahead of Syme, who's 5 ahead of Swanton, and a big gap to the rest. And overall, the same Brad from Syme from Swanton. This puts Haas at the top of the teams. From McLaren, Williams and AlphaTauri. Ferrari down at the bottom. There you go, all up to date. Let's get rid of those as we await players, drivers sorting out everything.
At least we managed to get a Burger King lol.
Well, every delay is made better by a Burger King. Let's put the tyre choices back up for you. More differences of opinion here. Syme and Miller Vanilla both on mediums, as are the second row, Colin and Swanton. Roddy the Kid has been disconnected. Hopefully he can get back in. The Hasses on row 3 have gone for differing strategies. Brad on the hards and Skippy on the softs. And it's Smug and Levi on mediums. Ninjas and King Kong on mediums. Senna goes for hards with Max Weld on mediums. Easy Life goes for hards. He loves to stay out for long stints. Then Sainsbury on the mediums along with his teammate.
Chili Heatwave chicken fries was fit.
Roddy the Kid's on hard, soft. Hopefully he gets back in his car. Then Joker on softs, 50 Gent on mediums, and Al Newt on the softs. Soft medium or soft medium, says the strategy board, powered by Amazon. As Syme comes through the stadium section.
Yeah,
Where he broke the heart of Miller Vanilla on the sprint. Everyone talking about food in my chat. That's going to just make me hungry. Don't do that. Here we go. A couple disqualified for parking. Skippy and Levi. We had 4 on the sprint race. He's Roddy the Kid back in his car. I think it was still ghosting, possibly. Nine viewers in the chat, as well as However many are on DRS UK as well. Don't forget we're multi-streaming on the 2 channels. Here we go then, bit of a glitch on the timing board. Never helpful. Should now see some lights. Don't tell me the game's crashed again, folks. It reckons it's lap 2. And the lights have crashed. Gonna be a red flag, I think. Once again, this game deciding to make a mess of it, and I'm losing viewers because of it. Yep, looks like we have lost the... Oh, here we go. Maybe not. A couple of people have left, and now it's go. I'm not sure if we're going to have a restart here, but we're going. And Syme leads, but Colin's had a great start. Colin off the line is going to get to P1. Ahead of Syme, then 3 in behind. Swanson, Brad and Miller. Miller Vanilla's dropped to 5th. Brad up to 3rd already. Hopefully everybody getting around.
Estimated collision in T-minus 10.
Bring it on!
9. 8.
Can you confirm satellite collision is imminent?
7.
Let's go!
6. 5.
Carrying out collision avoidance maneuver.
4. 3. 2. 1. Satellite collision averted.
It takes the whole force to protect space. Join us.
The champions of our world are legendary, but the hero we are looking for is you. Live your story.
Some overtakes going on down the straight. Senna going past a couple. He's up to P7 now, 6 or 7. He's scrapping. He's big time scrapping with the McLaren. Had to get out of it and almost was run into by Smug, who's now going to try and go past him. No team orders down at Alfa Romeo. Senna stays ahead of Smug for now. Easy Life picks up an early penalty. That's Colin from Syme. This is the corner that Syme made the race winning overtake in the sprint. But at the moment Colin stays where he is, but for how long I don't know. Syme, fastest lap of the race. Now he's going to go for Colin down the straight. He'll have DRS next time. He bides his time on this occasion. Brad's dropped back by a couple of seconds. He's still got Swanton for company. Ninjas is chased by the Alfa Romeos. Then it's Joker, who's had a great start from the back. Joker was down in 17th, is now P9, ahead of Max World, then Sainsey. Skippy's lost a few places, he's 12th from King Kong. Everyone really close together. Difficult to see who we're watching here for the best action. Syme having a look. Not getting anywhere this time, but surely with the DRS down the main straight, he'll fancy retaking the lead. Swanton similarly chasing Brad. Joker and Smug side by side, as Smug forced off the track. And he will lose the position to Joker and possibly more here, because Max Weld's up his inside. Syme does take the lead of the race from Colin, who goes a bit wide. Syme with the DRS to take him away now. Swanson still can't get past Brad. Joker is now up to 7th and is looking for 6th. Max Weld passing Senna. Wide there is Joker. And Max is trying to get involved with him. And does go up his inside. Max Weld passes Joker for P7. And a whole trail of cars behind Ninjas all the way down to Speedy Bullet in 16th, all separated by less than a second each as Al Newt passes 50 Gent. You can see them all scrambling for position. And already we are up to lap 6 of 36. Swanton passing Brad Mason. And Maxwell passing Ninjas. And look at them all in behind. The Alfa Romeo side by side again. Do apologise about this cough that seems to be engulfing me today. Joker there going around the outside of Ninjas. What a move that was. And look at them all behind him. Look at the train of cars behind. Unbelievable how close they all are. Let's just hope we have no incidents or collisions. Joker up to P7. Senna picking up a time penalty. And now picking up not picking up an overtake. Yeah, I think it's the cold weather that's doing it, makes. It seems to be relentless, either pissing down the rain or freezing cold at the moment. Max Weld sets the fastest lap of the race. He's in pursuit now of Miller Vanilla. Brad still keeping Swanton honest for 3rd place. Senna making a move on Ninjas. Smug might dive up the inside as well, but doesn't. And now Smug's got to be wary of Skippy behind him. And Skippy down the side of Smug. Smug's got the inside though. And we'll ease him out. King Kong goes past Sainsy, who's had a bit of a wobble. And Sainsy is passed also by 50 Gent. Colin picks up a time penalty in 2nd. King Kong now trying to get to Skippy. Levi passes Al Newt. In front we've got Smug trying to get to Ninjas. The reverse grid certainly mixing things up. Hello to Noodles in the chat, my teammate for Blobby Mondays. Looking forward to seeing you in Abu Dhabi shortly, where our pursuit of the Constructors' Championship and your own Drivers' Championship continues. Let's see what will
Ready for
happen.
tonight.
As ready as I can be. Very aware that I've not been very good the last few weeks, so hopefully will contribute some points to the cause this evening. Ninjas picks up a time penalty. Skippy there past Smug. Sainsy picks up a time penalty. Smug's going to go back up the inside. Levi's out of the race. Safety car. Safety car is out. Levi out of the race. And Simon's literally just passed it. So into the pits is Max World. I assume others will as well. There's Joker and Senna. Ninjas. Skippy. Smug. 50. Sainsy. Speedy Bullet. Al Newt. And Roddy all into the pit lane. And Maxwell's come out on intermediates. And I don't see any rain. A huge strategy error for Max World, who has come out of the pit lane on intermediate tyres in the bone dry. So a second pit stop beckons for him. Luckily all is not lost, as it will still be under safety car conditions. But a big strategy error for Max World, and that will cost him. So the front 7 yet to pit, but now they come towards where they can do so. And in comes Syme, and Colin, and Brad, and Swanton. Are the Red Bulls going to pit? Yes, Miller Vanilla. Evening to Adkins in the chat. So the front 5 are all pitting. King Kong is not. King Kong stays out. Easy Life usually stays out on these, and does again. So let's see where King Kong and Easy Life end up here. Easy Life goes up to P6.
556, my man, how are you?
Max is in the pits again to fix the error. King Kong's got up to 3rd with not pitting. King Kong and Easy Life the only ones to not pit during this safety car. And we're only at a quarter race distance. Yep, should be a good race tonight. We've got Brake Tester back in. He's got a new teammate in Captain Redbeard. Just Ichigo missing at the moment, as far as I'm aware. There's a big battle on for 3rd place in the championship, which will be between Grace and Wabster more than me, because I've been awful for several weeks.
Baker plays 39, all good buddy, how's you?
Of course, the title race and the constructors.
We got a full grid tonight.
Full grid except Ichigo, as the new reserve cannot race tonight. And the other new blokes taking the McLaren seat from Schlurak. And Antoine didn't respond to any calls to reserve. I'll text Nick in a minute. In fact, we've got another lap of safety car. I will text Nick now and see if he wants to race. Brad passed King Kong there. Still under safety car. I'm not sure what happened there.
Attack 1N556 awesome bud. ... had a brilliant weekend in Manchester / Liverpool / Preston, only got home 2 hours ago.
I can imagine it was quite a difficult journey. Did see some interesting things of planes being redirected from Edinburgh all the way to Germany, and a Liverpool to Dublin flight going to Paris. So the storm, yeah, not the easiest for travelling.
I bet you're knackered, mate.
For the sake of Red Bull, I hope he is knackered.
Back up that way next Saturday to Morecambe. Yeah, clips and photos looked like you all had a great time. Nice to put names, voices to faces, lol.
Morecambe next week.
But Canon is 2001 shattered bud.
That is some journey. Morecambe next week. Hopefully you get a game this time, as I saw Salford was obviously off. So safety car in this lap, and Syme now backs them up. Hasn't backed them up very much actually. And off we go once again. It's Syme from Colin, from Brad. Then King Kong, Swanton. Colin's going to try and do what he did on the first lap. And tries to get up the inside.
And 56, you should come to the next meetup if you want to.
And Syme keeps it.
On the coach. Don't have to pay till the day.
And Brad now trying to get involved with the top two. Colin into the lead. Are they all going to get round safely? Syme up the inside of Colin. More almost contact. Colin holds it out.
556, please come next time.
Syme knocked into the wall. And Syme's out of the race. Out of the race is Syme. We got another safety car. Syme on the inside. Colin couldn't leave him any room. Contact and into the wall went Syme, and out of the race went Syme. Another safety car. And on the positive, this should be a quick safety car, this one, because everybody is quite close together. Easy Life decides to pit this time. Miller Vanilla decides to pit also. So Easy Life and Miller have pit and gone to the back of the field. Colin has got the safety car now. Syme out of the race. Colin from Brad, from Swanton, from King Kong. Joker is 5th. Don't forget he started in 17th place. Then Senna. Let's. George in the chat says Max is really taking the Ferrari strategy seriously. That's obviously with reference to his intermediate stint. And Kusky Blue says Team Senna. Senna currently running in P6. Apologies, folks. I will try and get to both of your chats. Obviously in the DRS stream and in my own. Got the Blobby Mondays crowd in, ready for the race in Abu Dhabi in approximately an hour. I do appreciate you tuning in during your practice time and watching these excellent races from DRS. I'm back again on Thursday night with the extreme version. Go Red Bull, says Noodles, indeed. King Kong currently in 4th place, and Miller Vanilla right at the back. You may know King Kong as the replacement commentator when I'm not around. He's very good at it as well. Currently the only driver not to have pitted in this race. So I'm assuming we're going to get rid of the safety car again this lap.
We can do this, bro, at Blobby_Butler.
We will see what happens. But yeah, almost a full grid, which is always good for a new league. Season 1, and we've made it to almost full grid, and we look like we're starting season 2 with that full grid, so that's very encouraging. Safety car is in this lap, so we'll start lap 14 of 36, back racing again, and this time it's Colin who will lead them. So the safety car goes through the stadium.
Just follow the DRS channel blog.
Excellent, they'll be very happy with that.
At Baker Place 39 at Kamenkas 2000, and 1 year def. If I can make it, I will be there.
So Colin leads Brad then from Swanton, King Kong, Joker. Senna's going to make a move early here. And now Newt pitted on the end of the safety car there. Senna looking like a move.
Only play calendar season. China, France and Portugal don't count, lol.
Oh, they definitely count.
556, good to hear, mate.
Oh, the last 3 races definitely count. I'm looking forward to Portugal anyway, I'm quite good there. Senna and Joker side by side, bit of contact. Joker's not giving it up, still not giving it up, bit more contact. And look at the cars in behind trying to get involved, but Senna up to P5. Brad now won't leave Colin alone. Wonder if any of these hard runners are thinking of trying to go to the end. Would be a long stint. Of course, the ones who are displaying 5 and 6 laps old, most of those laps have been safety car laps. So it won't have as much wearing effect. No DRS for a couple of laps, but it looks like Brad's not going to need it. In fact, Colin manages to stay ahead. Skippy's going for Joker here and passes him. Joker tries to keep it in on the inside though. Joker just doesn't know when to give it up, and he's pushed very wide, and they're both going to lose places. Colin and Brad are fighting for the lead though. Brad round the outside. Colin tries to keep it in on the inside.
56 details about next meetup will be posted in Discord and my stream when we have details and confirmation.
And Brad keeps the lead from Colin. Swanton 3rd, Senna 4th, then it's Ninjas. Colin picks up a penalty. Smug is up to 6th. Skippy and Joker cost each other some places there. They're now 7 and 8 from Max World in 9. Ninjas in 10. Sainsy going for 50 gents and up to 11th. Bazza also cheering on Senna. Joker picks up a penalty. 9 viewers live in the chat. Hello everybody. Colin going to try and get back to Brad here. Tries to go around the outside. Smug now has passed King Kong and up to 5th. Good going for Alfa Romeo at the moment, 4th and 5th. Roddy the Kid making a move on Miller Vanilla. Miller coming back at him. And a possible bit of contact.
Stream growing blog, great to see. Good work.
And up the inside, Miller and Roddy. Miller beats Roddy to it there, and a bit of a wobble, which caused an Easy Life wobble. That was almost dangerous. And luckily they came through okay. Yes, indeed, stream is growing. We'd had our first ever Fortnite stream last night. We had a little few viewers in for that. And even got a duos victory or two in there as well. Being carried, of course, by Stacey and Megs. So more of that to come. More F1 to come. Back on Thursday with DRS Extreme. Right now, Max World and Skippy are going 3 wide with Miller Vanilla. King Kong, sorry. Got the wrong Red Bull there. And Max is going to pass both of them. P6 for Max World. P7 Skippy. P8 King Kong. Colin is staying with Brad. Senna is up to 3rd. I missed that. He's past Swanton. Sorry to the Senna fan club. I missed his pass, but he's up to P3. Fresh from his Thursday podium at Monaco. He's in the podium positions once again. But Senna and Colin do have those penalties as we come towards half race distance. And Max World has passed Smug. Max World racy today is up to P5 after a bad sprint race. Ninja's there going for Sainsy. King Kong picks up a penalty. We'll show you those penalties a bit later on in the race. We're only at half race distance. The caution in sector 2 is for Al Newt at the back as Swanton retakes P3 from Senna. The straight DRS at the moment. Al Newt's been disconnected now. Not a pleasant evening for Al Newt after his driver of the day performance last Monday. Ninjas picks up another time penalty. We'll have a little look at those penalties quickly. Where it's 6 seconds for Colin, that's going to cost him. Senna's got 3. Skippy's got 6. Joker 3, King Kong 6, Sainsy 3, Ninja 6, Easy Life has 9. As I say, just over halfway distance of this race. Penalties could play a factor. Joker getting close to the back of Skippy once again. Oh, a bit of a wobble out of the corner though. Almost lost it. Senna and Swanton at it again down the straight. And Senna takes P3 back again. Skippy overtakes Smug. The reverse grid certainly helping Skippy, who's up in the upper echelons of both races today. Brad's now pulled out a second on Colin. Still well clear of Senna, who's got Swanton for company. Al Newt back in. He's well detached at the moment. Now Joker having a look at Smug. Trying to force one around the outside of Smug here. There's not a lot of room there. And Smug gets out of the way by going into the pit lane. So Smug into the pits. That frees Joker. And Smug drops right down to 15th. Bolts on the hard tyre, and that should be him for the rest of the race. In fact, 16th now. Ninjas and 50 having a bit of a scrap with Speedy Bullet right there and Miller Vanilla. Speedy Bullet having a look at 50 Gent here. Who says I don't cover the lower midfield enough? Well, here you go. If there's close battles wherever they are on track, I'll give them a look. Miller Vanilla just at the end of this little snake of cars. Which goes from Sainsey all the way back to Miller. And an overtake coming for Ninjas. And easy eye contact there with Ninjas and Sainsey. Ninjas and Sainsey come to blows. And they'll both lose places.
The EE Game Store is open to every player on any network. And you can spread the cost of exclusive console bundles to level up your gaming. Search EE Game Store.
With me. Reach.
And Brad looks to be on his way to another victory. Colin is second from Senna third. Then it's Swanton, Max World. Skippy in 6th from Joker in 7. King Kong is 8th from 50 Gent, who's got Miller Vanilla for company. And Speedy Bullet is 11th. Miller going for a move on 50 Gent. They were Pro-Am title rivals for a little while until... And contact and off goes... And Miller's managed to hit both of them. 50 got stuck to Miller and then Speedy Bullet tried to take advantage and also managed to hit Miller. And that's a bit of a mess. But Miller's up to P9. Speedy Bullet 10. 50 Gent 11 and Sainsey 12. Swanton closing back in on Senna. And we'll look for the move. Up the inside. Which becomes the outside. Now goes for the switchy. Didn't make it happen. Maxwell is closing in behind, as you can see. Easy Life is the one collecting penalties like Christmas cards at the moment. I think that's at least 12 he's up to now, if not more. A bit like me in France, Canada or Australia. So the battle then for the final podium spot. Senna, Swanton and now Maxwell getting involved as well. Max has the DRS also to try and close in on these two. Smug passes Roddy the Kid towards the back of the field. Swanton passes Senna for P3 once again. It's a good battle between those two. King Kong is in the pits and is going for softs to the end. Kusky Boo continuing his support of Senna in the chat. King Kong rejoins in 16th place. And now, apart from these three, everyone with over a second gap to their nearest rival. They're just spacing out a little bit, but Max World is really on a charge. Senna's tyres start to get a bit older. I think everybody is going to have to pit again in the top 10 and go softs to the end potentially. Roddy the Kid picks up a penalty. Smug picks up another place. He's gone past Ninjas and up to 13th. He's going to look to get back into the points. Senna and Max World still very close behind Swanton. Joker has now caught Skippy. Max World picks up a penalty, and that's going to hurt him as he tries to get to the podium. This is Joker and Skippy. Skippy and Joker, actually. Skippy P6 and Joker P7. Championship leaders are Haas at the moment, and Brad Mason and Skippy are doing themselves no damage at all with a 1 and 6 at the moment. Through the stadium they come. We're going to go back to Max and Senna. Chases Swanton. Max looking for a move. Max looking for a move on Senna. Just got a bit of slide in, but does get the move done. And Maxwell goes up to P4 ahead of Senna. Easy Life picks up a 5-second penalty now for speeding in the pit lane. We will check penalties again very shortly. I'm sure more pit stops are imminent in this race, with 11 laps left to go. Max is now getting after Swanton though. Senna trying to hang on to coattails. Joker has passed Skippy and is up into P6 and has quickly gapped him by a second. Smug's carving his way through the field, and his next victim is Sainsy. Smug keeping it clean as well with no penalties. That could be crucial as he moves his way through the field, and he is up to P11. Meanwhile, Max World has passed Swanton. Max World up into P3. Swanton P4 and Senna P5 now. Ninjas into the pits. Smug's late run through the field. If they're all going to pit again, then Smug could be on for a very good position here. Brad now a 5-second gap to Colin in second. Max in third from Swanton and Senna, who won't go down without a fight. And Joker, Skippy, Miller Vanilla, Speedy Bullet and 50 Gent make up the top 10. Smug is catching 50 though, and we'll hope that everybody is going to pit again. Sainsy is 12th. The rest who have pit for softs are King Kong, Easy Life, Ninjas, Roddy the Kid and Al Newt. And into the pits comes Senna. Senna's into the pits for soft tyres. Skippy's into the pits, and he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding there. I assume it'll be soft tyres for him too. Also in the pits are 50 Gent and Speedy Bullet. So up through the field comes Smug. And Smug is going to go by, not quite go by his teammate. So Smug is up to 8th. Speedy Bullet and 50 Gent drop out of the top 10 with their pit stops. And Easy Life is going to get by one of them, if not both. Indeed, both. So Easy Life up to P12 ahead of Speedy Bullet. Ninjas then separate Speedy and 50. And Brad continues to extend his advantage, even though he's on medium tyres that are now 20 laps old. We are one short of a full grid cam, unless Antoine responds or Nick can race as a reserve. As the new bloke reserve, Mibinator, is not available, and Ichigo is not available. But I will get to that at the end of this race, where Max has now gapped Swanton by a second. King Kong picks up a time penalty. Let's take this quiet period to have a look at the penalties, where Easy Life is up to 20 seconds of penalties. Skippy has 11, King Kong 9, Ninjas 9, 6 for Colin, 3 for Max World, 3 for Joker, 3 for Senna, and 3 for Roddy the Kid. And Speedy Bullet passing Easy Life. Of course, it would be down the main straight, where the majority of overtakes take place. Here in Mexico. Senna getting close now to the back of Miller Vanilla. He is on fresh soft tyres, with Miller last in their old hards. And a big wobble, but he'll get the move. Miller not a lot to fight with there. And Senna up to P6. King Kong similarly passing Sainsy. And that's P9 for him. Anybody else choosing to pit, or are they going to try and stay out? It'll be a monumental effort if Brad can make the mediums last to the end. Equally so, almost, not quite equally so, but almost as impressive will be for the next 4. Speedy Bullet sets the fastest lap of the race as Sainsy gets back past King Kong in the battle for P9. 21 laps old for the Joker, 20 for Swanton, Max and Colin, and crucially for Brad as well, who's on mediums, but he's still increasing the gap. Max is now closing in on Colin, and Swanton sticking to him, where they both have penalties, so Swanton could well be on course still for a podium. Then it's Joker from Senna, Miller from Smug, Sainsy and King Kong, who are the closest two on track at the moment. The battle for P9. Senna sets the fastest lap of the race. King Kong now will surely get past Sainsy once again. And does so. Skippy also catching. Sainsy's actually got the oldest tyres on the track at the moment. 22 laps old, his hard tyres. And he drops to P10 and shortly probably P11, because Skippy on fresh rubber is now right on his diffuser. 50 Gent catching Easy Life further back in the field. Brad continues to extend his lead. Now almost 8 seconds ahead. Skippy going for Sainsy, bit of DRS, but Sainsy also has DRS. Skippy's going to go around the outside. Great move by Skippy. Speedy Bullet picks up a penalty. .50 still can't get past. Skippy's going past King Kong. In fact, King Kong's in the pits. King Kong pits. And that's a strange one, as he'd already pitted for softs. Maybe they just went off really quickly. But he's going to drop right down the field now. Easy Life Ninjas and 50 Gent all very close together there. Wide goes Easy Life. Ninjas almost into the back of 50. They'll survive for another day. Swanton has closed back up to Max Wild now. Surely now the time to pit for those front runners has gone. And they are going to ride it out to the end, which for Brad would mean a 27 lap stint on mediums. His tyres must be absolutely screaming. Senna has caught up to Joker here. And on the fresher soft tyres, should be able to take P5 back. Senna. Joker going defensive. Senna biding his time. Had a look up the inside, but didn't make the dive. Let's look at the penalties once again, see how they're going to affect us. Swanton at the moment is on for P2. And as you see, Senna go up past Joker. Miller Vanilla's picked up a penalty now. And that could cost him a place to smug. Skippy is possibly only going to lose one place for his 11 seconds. Max is going to pass Colin. And Colin is going to keep the place. Big scrap going on here. Joker passes Senna. Senna tries to turn in on him. And Senna keeps it in front. Swanton now getting involved with Max. Up the inside. Bit of contact. Joker and Senna side by side. Again, Senna keeps the place. Joker runs very wide indeed. And picks up a time penalty for it. So that'll ease Senna's nerves a little bit over that place. Brad has now increased the gap to nearly 10 seconds. The only thing that can stop him there would be a puncture. The battle for second on the track is on. It's Colin from Max from Swanton. But with penalties, Swanton's going to get second anyway. Max up the outside this time. Passes Colin. And now he'll hope that Colin holds Swanton up enough to get Max 3 seconds away. Just 4 of them there without penalties. Sorry, 5. That's Brad, Swanton, Smug, 50, and Al Newt. King Kong sets the fastest lap of the race. He is on the newest soft tyres. He's down in 14th though. Speedy Bullet closes in and passes his teammate Sainsey. Don't think there was a lot of resistance there. Speedy Bullet into the top 10. Swanton getting close to Colin here through the stadium. As we have now 2 laps to go. Set the time, good, all good. Lobby will be ready for Blobby Mondays at 9:45. Late moves and no contact for those 2 there. Swanton knows he can just keep up with these 2 on the last couple of laps and he'll jump them. It's always satisfying to get the move done on track as well. Brad, 26 laps on those medium tyres. The gap 9 seconds to Max World, who has got equally old hard tyres. We often say Bunnings Vengeance is the strategy master and the tyre management master, but that's taken some real ballsy strategy and tyre management for the front 4, as well as Joker and Sainsey, to go nearly 30 laps on 1 set of tyres. Brad Mason starts the final lap of the race. Swanton continues to chase Colin, and he might get it done with DRS this time. And sails by Swanton up to P3. He's now just got to not lose a second and a half to Max in this final lap, and then he'll have P2. Stainsey picks up another penalty. 50 is passed by King Kong. The gap managed by Brad at 8 seconds. His tyres must be absolutely screaming. But he's coming round through into the final sector. And he's going to pick up another victory. The fireworks are going off. He locks up that already screaming tyre. Through the final corner, Senna picks up a time penalty there. Brad Mason wins in Mexico. Maxwell will come home in second, and it's going to be close if he's going to keep it. Max comes home second, but loses that to Swanton. Colin comes home in 4th. Senna will be 5th for now. But is he going to be jumped by Joker? No. Miller Vanilla is next to come home, P7. But he might be jumped by Smug. Oh, and Smug picks up a penalty on the last corner. And that's cost Smug an extra place. He's finished P8. Skippy in P9, then Speedy Bullet, who jumps Skippy into P9. Sainsey P11 from King Kong P12. 50 jumps to P11 ahead of Sainsey and King Kong. Ninja's Easy Life will come home next, but he had a whole load of penalties. And that means Roddy the Kid might jump him. Indeed he does. And Al Newt might as well. Or might not. Indeed, Al Newt does as well. So we'll bring you the final order very shortly. Al Newt there, 16th. Maxwell, the driver of the day, according to the game. He's had a few of those performances. Maxwell also subscribed with Prime to the DRS channel, so thanks for that, Max. Brad Mason, then your winner. Swanton in second. Let me just tab across to the race win. Brad Mason wins from Swanton. Max Weld in third from Colin in fourth. Senna was fifth, and another win. Another comfortable win in the Pro-Ams for Senna. Joker was sixth from Miller Vanilla in seven. Smug 8. Speedy Bullet in 9 from 15th on the grid. Good from him. Skippy finished 10th from 50 Gent. Sainsy, King Kong had the fastest lap of the race in 13th.
Make it. You got a seat for him.
Ninjas 14, Roddy the Kid 15, Al Newt 16, Easy Life 17. Your DNFs were Syme and Levi. Hello, Redbeards. Meebinator can make it. Talk to me in the Discord in a minute. And I will sort that out.
Flexed biceps.
Thank you very much to everyone for joining me. I'm running for a quick toilet break and then getting the lobby up for Blobby Mondays. We'll be back in half an hour. Until then, this has been DRS. I'm back with DRS Extreme on Thursday at 8 p.m.
See you soon, Blob.
See you in half an hour, folks. Blobby Mondays, 10 p.m. start. Thank you very much and good night for now.